It's not been easy for me. It has not been easy for me.
I had a situation where I was a very excellent student, came out, made billions and billions of dollars.
You know, I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
Using his dad's business connections and creditworthiness, Donald went into real estate in Manhattan in the mid-1970s.
Became one of the top business people.
And I want to say this to the television audience. I made my mistakes, but in all of my years of public life, I have never profited.
Trump the president has done little to separate himself from Trump the businessman.
Never profited from public service.
Trump continues to own hundreds of businesses operating under the umbrella name the Trump Organization.
I've earned every cent.
Went to television and for 10 years was a tremendous success, as you probably have heard.
We don't know much about Trump's debts. Who does he owe money to?
Ran for president one time and won.
Well, I think if I wanted the Reform Party nomination, and this is based on knowledge, not just feeling, I think I'd get it.
There's been no collusion. There's been no crime.
And in all of my years of public life, I have never obstructed justice.
Short of a constitutional violation, the broad concern is the blurry line between Trump's businesses and his presidency.
But there's been no collusion. There's been no crime.
And I think, too, that I can say that in my years of public life, that I welcome this kind of examination.
So we've been very open.
We don't actually know where his money comes from.
And we just want to get that over with.
Because people have got to know whether or not their president is a crook.
We could have done it two ways. We could have been very close, and it would have taken years.
Some of this information would show up on Trump's tax returns, but remember that Trump is the first president since the 1970s not to release his tax returns.
But you know, it's sort of like when you've done nothing wrong, let's be open.
To provide transparency for the public.
Well, I'm not a crook.
It's making our country look foolish.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un just stated that the nuclear button is on his desk at all times.
Will someone from his depleted and food-starved regime
please inform him that I, too, have a nuclear button?
And this is a country that I don't want looking foolish.
But it is a much bigger and more powerful one than his, and my button works.
My button brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's bigger than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours.
That button launches all of our nuclear missiles.
Well, then which button gets me a latte?
And it's not going to look foolish as long as I'm here.
You should be bragging about the size of your missile.
If they're small, something else must be small.
But he uses this tiny one to order Diet Coke.
Something else must be small.
And it's all about who's got the bigger butt.
Oh, yeah.